If you die in your sleep, at least it's peaceful. Have you ever heard someone say that? Maybe even believed it yourself? But what if I told you that this belief is dangerously misleading? Imagine this. A 75-year-old woman, seemingly healthy, goes to bed like any other night, but never wakes up. His family is shattered, left with nothing but unanswered questions. No warnings, no illnesses, just a silent, unexpected end. Most people assume that dying in sleep is just a part of aging, a peaceful way to go. But what if I told you that many of these so-called natural deaths aren't random at all? That certain bedtime habits, things you might be doing every single night, could be quietly increasing your risk of strokes, heart attacks, and even sudden death. And here's the shocking part. These habits aren't what you'd expect. Some may feel comforting, some may seem completely harmless, but over time, they take their toll, weakening the body, disrupting sleep, and putting stress on the heart. Welcome to Buddhist Wisdom for the Elderly, where we share timeless teachings, modern science, and practical advice to help seniors live longer, healthier, and more peaceful lives. Before we dive into these life-saving insights, I want to share with you an ancient Buddhist teaching. The habits you cultivate shape your future, including your last breath. By the end of this video, you'll recognize these hidden dangers, learn how to fix them, and take control of your health. And trust me, you don't want to miss habit number 6. It's something almost every senior unknowingly does, yet it holds the secret to not just living longer, but sleeping better, waking up happier, and feeling truly at peace every night. So stay with me, and if you find value in this content, like this video and subscribe. Help us reach 1,000 subscribers so we can continue creating helpful, life-changing content for the elderly. Your support means everything. Now, let's get started. One, the hidden danger of drinking water before bed. For many, the simple act of drinking water before bed feels like a healthy habit. After all, hydration is essential, right? But as we grow older, the way our bodies process fluids changes. The kidneys continue filtering at night, the bladder weakens, and the ability to hold urine for long periods diminishes. Waking up once or twice to use the bathroom may not seem like a big problem, but for seniors, it carries hidden dangers. Each nighttime trip to the bathroom interrupts deep sleep, making it harder for the body to repair itself. Worse, these frequent awakenings increase the risk of dizziness, imbalance, and falls, one of the leading causes of injury in older adults. It only takes one bad fall to change a life forever. Let me tell you about Margaret Benson, a woman who spent her whole life taking care of others. She was a retired nurse, a mother of 3, and a grandmother of 5. Margaret had always believed in the power of good health. She made sure to eat right, exercise, and most of all, stay hydrated. Even at 75, she kept a large glass of water by her bedside. Hydration is the key to staying young, she would often say, smiling. Every evening, she would sip on water or herbal tea before going to sleep, believing it would help her rest better. But each night, she woke up 4, sometimes 5 times to use the bathroom. At first, it was just an inconvenience. She would shuffle out of bed, make her way to the bathroom, and return, hoping to fall back asleep quickly. But over time, the constant interruptions left her feeling exhausted during the day. She began to feel lightheaded in the mornings, struggling to keep her balance. Then one night, it happened. She woke up as usual, her bladder urging her to move. Half asleep, she swung her legs over the side of the bed and stood up, too fast. The moment she did, a wave of dizziness washed over her. The world spun, her legs buckled beneath her. The sound of her fall was deafening in the quiet of the night. She had hit the floor hard, pain surging through her side. She had broken her hip. Her daughter found her in the morning, unable to move. What followed were months in the hospital, a long and painful recovery, and a body that never fully regained its strength. The independent woman who once cared for others now needed help with the simplest of tasks. In Buddhist teachings, balance is everything. The middle way, a principle taught by the Buddha, reminds us not to lean too far in any extreme. Too much indulgence and too much deprivation both lead to suffering. Margaret's heart was in the right place. She wanted to nourish her body. But sometimes what seems healthy in excess can be harmful. Just as the Buddha taught monks to eat in moderation and avoid excess water intake before meditation, we too must listen to our bodies and understand when enough is enough. Margaret's story serves as a gentle reminder: take care of yourself, but be mindful of balance. Drink most of your fluids in the morning and afternoon. Keep your body hydrated earlier in the day so it doesn't need excess water at night. Reduce intake after 6 p.m. Give your body time to process fluids before sleep. If thirsty at night, take small sips instead of a full glass, just enough to soothe the throat without overwhelming the bladder. Be mindful of hidden sources of liquid. Soups, fruits with high water content, and even medications contribute to nighttime urination. 2. Late night eating. A silent risk to your heart. As the years pass, the body changes in ways we often overlook. When we were younger, eating a late-night meal didn't seem to matter. Our metabolism was fast, our digestion strong, and our bodies resilient. But after 70, digestion slows, and the body's ability to process food efficiently weakens. A heavy meal before bed forces your system to stay active when it should be resting, straining the heart, disrupting sleep, and even increasing the risk of silent heart events. For many, this habit starts small. A little snack before bed, a late dinner with family, or simply the comfort of eating at night. But over time, it builds into a routine that silently wears down the body. There was once a man named Walter Green, a retired history teacher who spent his days enjoying life's simple pleasures. He had a warm laugh, a kind heart, and a love for food that he had carried from his childhood. After decades of strict schedules and early mornings, retirement gave him the freedom to eat whenever he pleased. He and his wife Eleanor often spent their evenings watching television, sharing memories and indulging in their favorite late-night snacks. Walter's favorite treat? A large plate of pasta, sometimes followed by a slice of cake. "I've earned this," he would say with a chuckle, patting his belly. Eleanor would gently remind him, "Maybe just a little less tonight?" But Walter always dismissed her concerns. Then came the night that changed everything. Eleanor woke up to a strange sound. Walter coughing violently, struggling for breath. She turned on the lamp, only to find him clutching his chest, his face tense with discomfort. Panicked, she reached for the phone, but before she could call for help, Walter's body went still. He had suffered a silent heart attack in his sleep. At the hospital, the doctor explained that his late-night eating habits had been putting his body under silent stress every night. The heavy meals forced his digestive system to keep working while his heart, already aging, struggled to regulate itself. The constant strain had triggered dangerous fluctuations in his blood pressure, leading to a sudden cardiac event. Eleanor was devastated. She had always thought they had more time, more stories to share, more meals to enjoy together. She had never imagined that something as simple as a bedtime routine could steal him away so suddenly. Buddhism teaches us about moderation, about the middle path. In the teachings of the Buddha, overindulgence, whether in food, material wealth, or even comfort, can lead to suffering. In ancient times, Buddhist monks followed a disciplined routine, eating their last meal before noon and fasting through the evening. They believed this allowed the body to rest and the mind to remain clear. Walter, like so many of us, found joy in the warmth of food. But as the Buddha once said, a wise person eats for the nourishment of the body, not for the pleasure of the tongue. If Walter had embraced this wisdom earlier, perhaps he would have lived many more years beside Eleanor, waking up each morning to the golden light of another day. Walter's story serves as a gentle warning, a reminder to cherish our health as much as we cherish our comforts. Here are simple changes that can protect your heart and extend your years. Finish dinner at least 3 to 4 hours before bed. Give your body time to digest before sleep. Choose lighter snacks. If you must eat, opt for something small like almonds, yogurt, or a banana. Avoid heavy, spicy, or greasy foods at night. They trigger acid reflux and put unnecessary strain on your system. Practice mindfulness with food. Eat with intention, not just for habit or pleasure. 3. Is your bedroom too warm for a healthy sleep? A warm, cozy bedroom might seem like the perfect way to drift off into a peaceful sleep. But as we age, warmth can become an unexpected enemy. The body's ability to regulate temperature weakens with time, making it harder to cool down during sleep. This can lead to dehydration and increased heart rate, and in severe cases, a higher risk of strokes or cardiovascular strain. Many seniors experience night sweats, restless tossing, and sudden awakenings without realizing that their sleeping environment is part of the problem. Unlike in youth, when the body could easily adjust to fluctuations in temperature, an overheated bedroom at 70 or 75 degrees Fahrenheit can quietly put stress on an aging heart. Now imagine waking up drenched in sweat, gasping for air, feeling as though the night has drained you instead of restored you. For some, this happens every night. Harold Thompson, a retired carpenter, was a man who found great comfort in routine. Every evening, he would sit by the fire with his wife, Margaret, sipping tea and reminiscing about their younger days. He had always enjoyed warmth, the feel of a heavy blanket wrapped around him, the comfort of a well-heated room in winter. But as the years went by, his nights became more restless. He would wake up soaked in sweat, his heart racing, struggling to catch his breath. Margaret often noticed him tossing, turning, and mumbling in his sleep, his face flushed as if he had been running in a dream. At first, Harold dismissed it. "It's just old age," he would say. But Margaret knew something wasn't right. One night, she woke to find him sitting up in bed, chest heaving, his hand clutching his forehead. She begged him to see a doctor, and reluctantly he agreed. The doctor's words were clear. "Your body is overheating at night, putting stress on your heart. You need to cool your sleeping environment, or this could lead to more serious problems." Harold was shocked. He had always believed that warmth was a necessity for good sleep, something comforting. But that night, Margaret did something simple. She turned down the thermostat, switched his thick comforter for a breathable cotton blanket, and cracked the window open slightly. For the first time in years, Harold slept deeply. He woke up without sweat on his forehead, without exhaustion weighing down his limbs. A simple change had given him back his rest. In the quiet halls of Buddhist monasteries, monks follow a simple yet profound tradition. They sleep in rooms no warmer than 60 to 65 Fahrenheit. This is not just for comfort, but for mental clarity, deep rest, and longevity. The Buddha himself spoke of balance, of neither indulging in extreme luxury nor forcing the body into hardship. The monks understand that excessive heat disrupts the body's natural rhythms. A cool sleeping space allows the body to settle into deeper rest, preserving both physical and spiritual well-being. Harold's experience mirrors this wisdom. By embracing coolness, he found peace. You don't have to be a monk to benefit from this ancient wisdom. Small adjustments can transform your nights. Keep your bedroom between 60 to 67 degrees Fahrenheit. A cooler environment supports deep sleep and lowers stress on the heart. Use breathable, lightweight blankets. Heavy comforters trap heat, making it harder for your body to cool down. Choose cotton or moisture-wicking materials. Open a window or use a small fan. Fresh air circulation helps prevent overheating and improves oxygen flow. Avoid excessive heating at night. A slightly cooler room may feel unusual at first, but your body will thank you. 4. The sleeping position that could harm your heart. Most people don't think much about how they sleep. After all, Once you close your eyes and drift off, does it really matter what position your body is in? But the truth is, the way you sleep can quietly determine the fate of your health, especially as you grow older. For seniors, the wrong sleeping position can cause poor circulation, breathing difficulties, and even heart complications. Sleeping on the back may seem comfortable, but it can lead to obstructive sleep apnea, a condition where the airway becomes blocked, causing breathing to repeatedly stop and restart throughout the night. This deprives the brain of oxygen, leading to morning headaches, high blood pressure, and, in severe cases, even sudden cardiac arrest. It's easy to overlook the dangers until it's too late. Peter Langston, 76, had always been a heavy sleeper. His wife, Elaine, often envied how quickly he could fall asleep, while she lay awake listening to the soft hum of the night. But over the years, something had changed. Peter had begun to snore, a deep, gasping sound that would suddenly go silent, only to be followed by a desperate, choking inhale. At first, Elaine thought little of it. Just old age, she told herself. But over time, the gaps in his breathing became longer. Sometimes she would lie awake, counting the seconds, her heart pounding in fear until he finally took a breath again. One morning, Peter woke up with a pounding headache, his chest feeling heavy, his body exhausted despite a full night's sleep. It was as though he hadn't slept at all. Still, he dismissed it. "I'm just getting old," he told Elaine, forcing a smile. But the exhaustion grew worse. He began forgetting things, small things at first. His daughter's birthday, his friend's name. Elaine noticed he was becoming more irritable, struggling to focus. Then one night, everything changed. Elaine was startled awake by a loud, violent gasp. She turned to see Peter clutching at his chest, his breathing ragged. He tried to sit up, but collapsed back onto the bed, his face pale. She called for an ambulance, her hands shaking. The doctors later told them that Peter's sleep apnea had put enormous stress on his heart. If they hadn't come in time, he could have suffered a fatal heart attack in his sleep. In Buddhist teachings, mindfulness isn't just about meditation, it's about being aware of the body, of its needs, its struggles, its silent signals. There's a reason Buddhist monks sleep in a specific posture, on their left side, with the right hand under the head and the left hand resting on the body. This position, known as the lion's pasaya, was taught by the Buddha himself. It promotes good circulation, steady breathing, and a restful, undisturbed sleep. Peter, like many of us, had never considered the importance of how he slept. But awareness is the first step to change. Peter was lucky, he got a second chance, and his story can be a lesson to all of us. Sleep on your left side. This position improves circulation, reduces pressure on the heart, and helps with digestion. Use a body pillow. If you tend to roll onto your back, a pillow against your back can help keep you in a safe position. Slightly elevate your head. A supportive pillow can help keep your airway open and reduce breathing issues. Listen to your body. If you wake up gasping for air, feeling tired despite sleeping, or experiencing morning headaches, pay attention. These could be warning signs. 5. Loneliness before bed, a risk to your health. As people age, loneliness becomes one of the greatest silent killers. Studies have found that elderly individuals who experience social isolation have a 50% increased risk of dementia, heart disease, and depression. One of the worst times to feel lonely is right before bed, when the house is quiet, memories resurface, and the absence of loved ones feels heavier than ever. This loneliness can trigger sleep disturbances, increase stress levels, and even lead to a shorter lifespan. Mr. Thomas Wilkes was 82 years old, living alone after his wife passed away. For years he had kept to himself, believing that it was better not to bother anyone. His nights were long, filled with silence, and he often found himself awake, staring out of the window, feeling an emptiness he couldn't describe. One evening, his granddaughter called him unexpectedly. She simply asked how his day had been. They talked for 20 minutes, nothing profound, just small conversations. But when Thomas went to bed that night, something had changed. For the first time in a long time, his heart felt full, not heavy. He slept peacefully, comforted by the knowledge that he was not forgotten. From that day forward, he made it a habit to speak with someone, whether a friend, a neighbor, or family, before bed. His sleep improved, his mood brightened, and his health stabilized. Buddhism teaches that human connection is one of the greatest sources of healing. Monks live in close communities because they understand that isolation leads to suffering, while companionship leads to peace. We do not suffer alone, nor do we find joy alone. Even a simple kind conversation, a shared moment, or a quiet prayer for a loved one can fill the heart with warmth, making sleep come easier. What you should do instead: have a short conversation with someone before bed, a phone call, a neighbor's visit, or even a friendly message. Listen to calming voices such as audiobooks, soothing radio programs, or Buddhist talks on mindfulness. Pray or send positive thoughts to loved ones before bed. It creates a sense of connection, even from afar. Keep a gratitude journal, writing one thing each night that made you feel connected to the world. 6. Nighttime worries. The silent sleep disruptor. Many elderly individuals spend their nights lying awake, replaying the past or fearing the future, worrying about their children, their health, their finances, or even the uncertainty of growing older. Science has shown that excessive worrying increases cortisol levels, a stress hormone that interferes with deep sleep, raises blood pressure, and weakens the immune system. Chronic stress before bed keeps the heart racing, the mind restless, and the body unable to truly relax. Over time, this stress weakens the heart, accelerates aging, and increases the risk of depression and cognitive decline. Take the story of Mrs. Eleanor Hayes, an 80-year-old woman who had spent her whole life worrying about her family. She was a devoted mother, always putting others before herself. Even in her later years, she couldn't sleep peacefully. Her mind was filled with anxieties about whether her children were happy, whether she had done enough, and what the future held. Each night, she would lie awake, staring at the ceiling, her heart beating fast, unable to find rest. When she finally drifted into sleep, it was light and filled with troubling dreams. Over time, her health began to decline. Then one day, a close friend who was a Buddhist practitioner told her, "Eleanor, you are carrying a heavy bag of worries, but at night you must set it down. You can always pick it up in the morning if you must, but for now, let it go." That night, Eleanor tried something different. She lit a small candle, closed her eyes, and focused only on her breath. She imagined placing all her worries into a floating lantern on a river, letting them drift away. For the first time in years, she slept deeply. The Buddha taught that attachment to worries is like holding onto a burning coal. It only hurts the one who holds it. In Buddhist monasteries, monks practice mindfulness before sleep by focusing on the present moment, releasing all thoughts of regret or fear. The past is gone, the future is uncertain, but the present moment is where peace is found. What you should do instead: practice a simple breathing meditation before bed. Write down your worries in a notebook, then close it, symbolizing that they are put away for the night. Repeat a calming mantra, such as, "May I be at peace, may I rest well." Remind yourself, the night is for rest. Tomorrow will come when it comes. We've uncovered 6 bedtime habits that could be silently harming your health. 1. Drinking too much water before bed disrupts sleep, increases fall risk, and puts strain on the heart. 2. Eating heavy meals late at night triggers acid reflux, blood sugar spikes, and heart complications. 3. Sleeping in a room that's too warm overheats the body, weakens sleep quality, and raises heart risks. 4. Sleeping in the wrong position restricts breathing, affects circulation, and increases the risk of heart failure. 5. Carrying worries into sleep raises stress hormones, damages heart health, and accelerates aging. 6. Isolating yourself before bed increases loneliness, weakens the mind, and quietly shortens your life. Now, here's your challenge for tonight. Make just one small change. Maybe you eat dinner a little earlier, adjust the temperature in your bedroom, or take a moment to quiet your mind before sleep. These small adjustments may seem insignificant, but over time, they can completely transform your nights and your health. Because the truth is, your health is in your hands. Every night, you have a choice. Continue unhealthy habits or create a peaceful, nourishing routine that supports a longer, healthier life. I'd love to hear from you. Which habit are you going to change first? Share your thoughts in the comments so we can support each other on this journey to better sleep and well-being. And if this video brought you value, consider helping us reach our goal of 1,000 subscribers. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications. Your support keeps us motivated to create more life-changing content for seniors just like you. Buddhist wisdom teaches us, the night is not just for sleep, it is the foundation of your tomorrow. Make it count. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.